Neighbors helping neighbors in need. An East Texas family's vacation in the hill country turned into a nightmare. CBS 19's Robert De La Garza shows us how they demonstrated courage and kindness when disaster struck in Kerrville.
What began as a simple couple's getaway for three East Texas families turned into a fight for survival.
We opened the door and we're looking and you could just see the water coming up. You knew you had to leave.
The Hadgesons, Woods, and Kings all traveled to River and Resort, just miles from Camp Mystic in Kerrville. A tradition that spans decades for Dex Hadgeson.
Since I was a kid, probably 4 or 5 years old, so it's just been kind of a tradition every couple of years.
But less than a day in, disaster struck. Torrential rain and rising rivers striked fear, Bill Woods says.
Trying to figure out what to do next. But in the back of your mind, you're kind of, yeah, sure, you're sitting there going, I don't know if I'll see my kids again.
The families rushed to the highest point of the building, some escaping to the roof to avoid the floods.
So that's when it kind of started filtering out onto the roof to make sure everybody had rent. Just glad that everybody was safe.
Fear set in as they began to realize the severity of the storm, but so did courage.
Once she handed me that baby, it wasn't about me anymore. It was about getting that child to safety. So good Lord had my hand and was dragging me around that building.
We were walking along the building, and when we turned and the current hit us, I then thought, the guys are not going to make it back.
When the storms paused, Buster King says the families stepped up and continued to help where they could.
We started cooking all the meat we brought with us, and of course, we were hungry, and everyone else was too. So.
They found a barbecue pit floating in debris and cooked for over 100 people.
As long as they were bringing food, we cooked it and fed people. It gave us something to do to make us feel useful.
Strangers with differences in the world, but united by survival.
We started as strangers, and we have a connection that we'll never forget each other.
After 24 hours of terror, only one vehicle was left for the families. They drove west away from the floodwaters.
Felt like it was time to go back, but also needed to let the first responders do their job.
Now the family looks back on that night with memories, some tragic and others humbling, of the friends they made, but all thankful to just be here.
No words for how grateful. It is very hard to take in. I think it'll take some time to absorb it all.
It occupies your mind constantly, thinking about the people who are lost right around us, and then, of course, many more downriver, but, it's just, it's a tragedy.
In Tyler, Robert De La Garza, CBS 19.
And thank God they are all okay tonight.